Hey Euphonium players, now we're talking about our first assignment of the technical etude. So you should have your metronome set to quarter note equals 60. On your assignment sheet it says you have to count the first measure before you get started. The reason is I want you to be thinking of that subdivision, so when you come in you're doing it right away. The most difficult part of this etude that most people are going to mess up is the difference between the staccato notes and then the slurred notes. Make sure you're being very accurate about it, or else you're going to find yourself slipping up when you don't need to be. Okay, there's a place where I want you to mark an arrow across the music with an NB. What does the NB mean? No breath. So that's going to be at the end of measure 4. You already have a crescendo there. So I recommend breathing after the staccato note in 5 instead. And then the second one is going to be at the end of measure 8. When I play this for you, you're going to hear that I'm going to add that note in measure 9 so that I don't create the habit of taking the breath after measure 8. I would like you to pick up your pencil right now, and in measure 6, the last note of the measure is an A flat. Yes, that is an A flat. Make sure you mark it. You're going to want to put a 1 over it so that you're playing it first valve. Most people are going to miss that and play an A natural instead. When you get over to measure 5, the 6th note of measure 5 is going to be an E natural, second valve. Remember, if you have an accidental at the beginning of the measure, it carries all the way through until there's another accidental that replaces it, or until you get to the next measure. So measure 5, the 6th note is an E natural. Measure 6, the 3rd note is also an E natural. At the beginning of measure 6, we have that courtesy accidental, it's not a courtesy accidental, we just have that E natural accidental, and so that carries out through the rest of the measure. The same thing in measure 7 for your 6th note, which looks exactly like measure 5, by the way. And then in measure 8, your 3rd note is going to be an E natural as well. All those E naturals are going to be played on your second valve. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to mark those in, and then I'm going to play it for you. So you should have your metronome set to quarter note equals 60 for your first assignment. I have the 8th note subdivision going right now, so that way I can keep myself honest. I want to make sure I'm training my fingers to do exactly what I need. You should not be playing any of the C's throughout this entire etude with 1 and 3. They all need to be played on that 4th valve. I seem to be saying that a lot. I wonder why. Notice I went all the way across the bar line every single time. There's going to be one exception, and we'll find out about that in 2 more videos. Okay, so make sure every single time we come across that slurred figure, you're slurring it. Most people are going to blast through it and play it wrong. Remember, accuracy and correctness over speed. I don't care how fast you can play it. If it's not right, I don't care. I'm over it. But if you play it at the tempo it's marked, quarter note equals 130, and you're very accurate, I'm about it. That's a 100 points for me. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you come ask one of the directors.